Now on GMU, people in Utah will soon cast their vote in the upcoming state primary. Ballots go out tomorrow. Now, this year, there are several key races voters will decide on. So here to weigh in is Morgan Lincati from the Hinckley Institute of Politics. Thanks for being here, Morgan.
Thanks for having me.
So we're getting those ballots, and they're getting them in tomorrow. What will people notice when they see their ballots tomorrow?
The nice thing with these mail-in ballots is that it does a lot of the homework for you. So you'll see the races that you can vote for. You don't necessarily have to worry about that. So if you're a registered Republican and you're in an area where there is a primary, you'll see those names, and the same if you're in the 1st District and you see those Democrats that have a primary.
There's one of the benefits of Utah where we have the mail-in system. You're able to read through each of the candidates' descriptions. If there's any initiatives, you're able to see what those are, as opposed to walking into the booth and just being handed the sheet and go, I can't remember what that is.
A lot of people do like that about the mail-in ballot, that you can just have it and you can have your computer, your phone, and looking up and doing the research as you're trying to weigh these candidates.
So why is it important for people to vote in this primary this year?
It's always important to vote. Primaries are tricky. We always see low turnout for primaries, but in some of these legislative races and other races that aren't as competitive, voting in that primary is a place where your vote can really matter, because quite often in the end you're choosing who will win the general election.
So give me an example here. Which race will voters have the most influence on if they vote in the primary?
Well, it's sort of tricky and it's really subjective, but
that's why we pay you the big bucks here.
Oh, of course. Sometimes people are focused on those big races, but sometimes it's the local races that are close to home where you might actually be casting that deciding vote. So votes always matter, but we have Senate, we have congressional primaries, we actually also have some state board primaries, and those are incredibly important. We actually have huge state board districts in Utah, and we have 2 primaries and actually 2 debates this week for those primaries.
And then one of the most notable races we're seeing in this particular primary is Mitt Romney running for U.S. Senate. Obviously, he's running against Mike Kennedy.
Right.
Are you surprised at all that Romney didn't get enough votes through the caucus system to avoid going to the primary?
We have really learned with Utah's caucus convention system that it's hard to predict, and even popular elected officials or popular politicians don't win at the convention. We saw that with the governor, Herbert, last round, and we saw that with Romney this round as well. So he actually took 2nd place in that convention, but the top 2 vote getters got to go to the primary, and Romney even gathered signatures just to make sure he'd be on that primary ballot.
So a little background there on Romney. So if people are voting, how can they do that? We know the mail-in ballot will work. Is there any other option there?
A lot of places do have early voting and voting on Election Day, and Election Day registration too if you're not registered. If in doubt, go to elections.utah.gov and you can get all the information you need there.
There you go. And remember, the primary day is June 26th. We're talking with Morgan Lincati here from the Hinckley Institute of Politics. Of course, you want to find out the work they're doing there at the Hinckley Institute. We have a link on our website, goodforutah.com/GMU. Morgan, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Emily, over to you.